What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode number 2 officially in the series. This one we're going to be talking about real friends versus fake friends. What do I think and how they come into your life and then leave, and you're better off without fake friends in your life. So we're going to go over all that, take a deep dive and unpack in this episode. So stick around and stay tuned. So after this, I'm going to be editing the next vlog, by the way. So again, this is my podcast channel if you're new here, but I have a main channel where the girlfriend and I do van life, truck camping, overlanding, and all of that kind of stuff. Fitness, just kind of almost like documenting the journey, basically, in story format, daily vlogs. But back to the topic. So you don't need a ton of friends. You only need real ones in your life, you know. The saying, circle got smaller, vision got larger. You know, some people won't believe in you, and that's fine. A lot of times, fake friends will come back out of the woodwork when you're making progress and seeing results. And it's important to not let those people back into your life. You can wish them all the best. You know, you don't have to wish them any harm or anything. Just, you know, neutralize. Just be very neutral. You know, I've set boundaries. It's called being assertive. You know, don't be a doormat, but also don't be a jerk. There's a balance, you know. So I've had fake friends message, be like, "Oh, we're not fake friends," blah blah blah. And 3 years ago or whenever, or for example, well, not even an example. Like, it is an example because this is what happened. But you know, causing drama with exes and stuff, and just fake friends, you know. And it's like, you know, I've been with my current girlfriend it'll be 2 years in June, and today is, what is today, March 7th, I believe. Let me check. Yeah. By the way, I have, if I'm all over the place, sorry, but I reorganized all my notes app, so I use InkPad. Well, I used to, I should say. I still have it, but I got like 2,000 notes on there, so I'm going to try not to add any more because I switched over to an app called Notion, which is also free. And actually, yeah, Notion, and then there's Google Keep, which is like Google Notes, and then there is Obsidian. So Obsidian's more of a large not networking, but like you can connect ideas is what I mean, like a network. So that app is more on standby. I'm mainly using Notion right now. It had a very slight learning curve, but you know, takes like 5 minutes to be like, okay, here's how you create a quote unquote folder, because instead of folders you kind of nest it's called nesting, where you basically have subfolders. You have one main, and then you can add into it, and you can have multiples, but for sake of organization, keep like 5 or 6, maybe 10 at the most, and then inside those add, you know, for example, like I have the KeganNation OS, which is operating system. I can go over all this in a different podcast. This one I'm mainly focusing on having supportive, real friends in your life, and that's very important. You gotta have people who are in your corner. And also with like the girlfriend, what they say is like, if your girlfriend's not your biggest cheerleader, you're with the wrong one. And so far, I mean, again, 2 years in June, and you know, sure, if we had disagreements and stuff, yeah. But it's been a lot better, actually, since we left Cowtown and have real jobs and real growth opportunities up here versus a dead-end town. That town that we moved from, you know, it's great to visit and all that, but I wouldn't want to live there. That's just me. You know, different strokes for different folks, as they say. But yeah, even family members, I've had them just be straight up armchair critics and talk behind my back, and it's kind of funny. And, you know, gotta wish them all the best and move on and just put in the work. That's what I'm doing every single day. I mean, you guys have seen it. I have organized and optimized my system to such a degree where it's like I can create more output as far as the videos. I have been posting more vlogs. I gotta edit the next one tonight, actually, so I'm always busy. Either, what am I doing? I'm either filming a podcast, or, well, in this case, recording a podcast, I should say, filming a vlog, editing, working out, you know, logging those miles, or working at the day job and making money. So, you know, or doing van maintenance. I'll do another podcast, or actually, as far as the van, that most of that stuff should be over on the main channel. But that's why I'm separating this out into because I want all the podcasts on its own thing. But yeah, I mean, you got to curate and not have fake friends in your life, and just continue to make it happen. And just like these podcasts, why did I reboot the podcast series? This being episode 2, even though if you go back on this channel, I have older videos, older podcasts, because I have more clarity now. Even in the future, let's say I have even more clarity, which I will, that comes with life and gaining wisdom and all that. I will probably just continue on with this series. Like, I'm not going to reboot it. This was like the final reboot, I believe. You know, don't quote me on that, but that's the plan, because going forward, I know what I want to do in life, and, you know, I'm 28 now, and I'm a hell of a lot more wise compared to when I was like 20 or 22 or 24. You know, some things you have to learn the hard way, like not, you know, hanging out with broke people or getting overpriced apartments with toxic exes, all this stuff. And that's not to say, again, wish these people all the best, but I don't talk to them anymore. They don't talk to me, and that's fine. You know, I'm completely content and happy with my life and with the girlfriend and with what we are building here. We're not where we want to be, but what's the saying? Be content but not complacent. So appreciate what you have while working towards what you want to achieve and obtain and get in and out of life. So that's what we're working on. Again, these podcasts will improve. I appreciate you guys if you stick around and subscribe and like up the videos, especially on the main channel, you know. And, you know, this journey is just getting started. I am beyond excited. And by the way, yesterday I just did my taxes, so I'll be getting a refund. The girlfriend's getting an even bigger refund. Not to brag, I'm just being transparent with you guys. Like, yeah, we need the money because the van, soon we're going to be getting new brakes, and I can go over all this in a different podcast or on the main channel. Again, this is more for behind the scenes. Also, why am I not doing a video podcast and it's audio only? Audio only is easier, and I can still get my thoughts out to you guys. And video format, I'm leaving that over to the main channel, again, for vlogs, as well as Instagram, you know, doing reels and maybe TikTok here and there, but mainly YouTube and Instagram, Facebook a little bit. But maybe in the future, you know, we could do a video podcast, but that depends. If this gains more traction and everything, then sure, but it's not a requirement, you know. Audio is fine, and you guys can still, you know, I also figured out how to do the chroma key and track switching in my video editor, so I'm able, that's why you guys are seeing the waveform on screen right now, because instead of having a static image, like if you go back to episode 1, this is like, in this current episode, this is V2, so, you know, it has a little different of a background and the moving waveform, which I think is pretty cool. And again, we could do a video. I know, for example, this is a wild example because I'm nowhere near this, but Joe Rogan, like pretty much the #1 podcaster, he's on like 2,500 episodes or so, which is insane. He's been doing this since like 2008 or 2009, and he's been a UFC commentator since like UFC 12, like the late 90s. And the guy's like in his late 50s or whatever, but his first 300, 350, maybe even 400 podcasts were audio only. So, you know, I mean, obviously he did what he loves. He still is. And, you know, he went the podcast and UFC commentator route, which good on him, because your body takes less abuse than if you were a full-time UFC fighter. And he's probably making even more money. In fact, I'd bet on it. You know, he's been doing this for years, for decades. So I'm just as an example. I don't know. Let me know how long you guys want these podcast episodes to be. I would say minimum, obviously 10-15 minutes. They're different than vlogs. Vlogs can be about that, but maybe more. It just it depends, because I'm building an audience, right? So once you have an existing audience, they're looking forward to longer episodes potentially. But when you're just starting out and building an audience, you want shorter episodes, so they're more likely to click and buy in and watch most or all of the video. So I mean, Joe Rogan's done, I think his longest podcast was like 4.5 hours or so. I don't know for sure, but I thought I saw that somewhere. But obviously, I'm probably not going to do one that long. Then again, this is a solo podcast, unless the girlfriend and I can do one together. But generally, you guys will see us over on the vlog channel, unless you guys want more behind the scenes, in-depth discussions. For example, Nick Bear, he does podcasts regularly, most of the time with a guest, but sometimes solo. He'll have some hard-hitting points that you take a deep dive into and to unpack. So, yeah, I mean, but over on the main channel, we'll be doing more van life stuff, more camping, more truck camping. This podcast thing is more of a hobby, and also to get my thoughts out to you guys and kind of just let you guys know what's up and what's going on. And for those of you who are like really hardcore fans that can tune in here from the main channel. And if you're new here, again, the main channel is where we do a lot of our video stuff and all that. So go check it out. We have fun over there. And if you guys want, soon we might be releasing KeganNation merch, depending on views and sales and all that. Like if we get enough buyers, or enough people that actually want merch, I don't know. It's something I'm thinking about, but that might be later on down the road. But for now, yeah, we're just right now I'm just hanging out in the van, probably gonna go get some dinner with the girlfriend later after she's off work. I have work Monday. Today is Saturday. But yeah, man, van life's been going well. I'm gonna be editing up vlog number 20. Like I said, I got my workflow optimized and all that, and I enjoy it. It's fun. Obviously we're still both doing the day jobs to pay the bills, but if this YouTube thing, if it takes off, I mean, I've been doing this since 2014, like since high school. I graduated 2015, but I think if you go back, okay, I was going to get into this earlier, but so the reason I have two channels, other than obviously main and vlog channel on the main channel, and then podcast, and then I actually have a third one, but that's like for just like for fun, like for clips or what. You guys can check it out. The link's there. But YouTube Shorts will mainly be on the first channel. But so I started with this one. If you guys go back, this channel started in 2013. My first video I actually posted in 2014. However, when I filmed a few videos that popped off on a second channel that I opened in 2017, and I converted that to the main. So that's so this one, if you scroll back, other than old podcast episodes on this channel, you will see certain old vlogs and clips when I was figuring things out. I would say 2014 to 2017 era. You can even go back and watch my first videos and stuff. And then if you go over to the main channel, 2017 was the first upload. So just to explain all that to you guys, I figured I would explain a little bit of the quote-unquote lore in episode 2 here, because why not? But yeah, man, other than that, I mean, back to the main topic on this podcast about fake friends versus real friends. It's important to have real friends in your life, and there's sirens in the background or whatever. But again, like, we're into 2026 now. Learned a lot over the years, and time goes quick. I mean, I'm only 28, but like 28's the age where, at least for me, I feel you can feel time going by. Like, in your early 20s, and this goes for a lot of people. For a vast majority, you're still figuring it out, and you're still adapting and making it happen. And again, if I could go back in time with the knowledge I have now, let's say, so I'm at 28, I'll be 29 in May in a couple months, 2.5 months or so. Let's say, when would I want to go back? Like 2015, after high school. So let's say 2016, okay? Early 2016. I think that's actually when I got my first job, right after high school. After that winter, I would want. So obviously, if I was there, I'd be like, I would know all my mistakes between then and now, and obviously I'd make different decisions, and that would further my success and everything else. So, like for examples, not financing a vehicle. Like right now, my vehicles are paid off, but stupidly, I financed a vehicle in, like, when was this? 2021 or 22, I think, somewhere around there. And before that, I had an older Toyota, which ran great. I mean, I sold it, no regrets. I enjoy my truck and the van more, but that's one thing. Maybe move out of my grandparents' place sooner, even though it was fine living there, but I hated living with my uncle that lives there. Not my great uncle. My great uncle, that's a different place. He lives like 35 miles from there. He's like late 70s or so. My uncle's 46 and lives at my grandparents' house. And I don't want to get into details. I'm not here to start drama or family stuff, whatever. I'm just saying my side of it, and giving you guys just enough details to realize why I didn't want to live there anymore. And I still, well, I guess I could say I try to keep in contact with my grandparents when they want to reply. I don't have their number blocked or anything, but at the same token, I have to protect my peace, because I'm not trying to argue with them or all the hell all they would say is like, it was so annoying, like, asking, how did you get a job? How's work? Blah, blah, blah. Not even, and again, not even like asking how the YouTube channel is going, or how these side gigs, side hobbies are. Even my great uncle's friends, like, at least my great uncle said, "Oh, you're good at these videos, keep it up." Even though he's still an armchair critic, because he's saying, "Oh, the van life, blah blah." He doesn't get it, because he's like late 70s. Back in his day, back in the boomers' days, houses were cheaper and all that, and life was a little simpler. That's what I've done. I've simplified my life, because when you're in a van, minimalism is nice, and it's going well. Obviously, we don't have rent, but we're still working, saving money. I forgot where I was going with this. I don't have bullet points written down. I don't want to ramble on, but we'll keep this under 30 minutes. How about that? Since it's episode number 2. We're at the 18-minute mark, roughly. So, by the way, I'm using an app for my podcast. If you guys are wondering, I'm using an app called Dolby On, which is completely free, and it does lossless audio quality, which is excellent. And yeah, man. So again, I might wrap this up now, because I don't want to keep rambling. And next one, I might write some bullet points down. I just figured, hey, I got time, why not film the next episode or record it or whatever. But later tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to work on the edit and post up the next video vlog on the main channel. So that being said, appreciate you guys tuning in. I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know any questions below. Don't forget, like up the video. I have all my donation links in the description box below. If you want to buy me a gallon of gas or whatever, I do have those links there. You can literally send $3, $5, whatever, 10. It's up to you. You can even do monthly support, and very appreciated. But if you guys don't want to do that, I understand. You can also just watching and subscribing and liking helps too, and that's free for you guys, so appreciate that. That being said, I will see you guys in the next podcast for podcast number 3. Let me know what topics you guys would like me to cover. Leave those comments below. Let me know, and we will definitely do a deep dive and unpacking of different ones. And like I said, as these go on, I'll get better and more cohesive with the videos. Like, again, when I started YouTube, if I had the organizational and knowledge and all that I have now, it'd be a game changer. And so, granted, some of the tools that are available now were not available 12 years ago, like ChatGPT, AI. We can take a deep dive on that as well. Like, I use that sometimes for figuring out what topics or videos, other than the comments and stuff, if you guys want to let me know. But I don't, the work still gets, like, I'm still putting in the work. Like, ChatGPT is no different than just Googling something, or even Google has its own AI, Gemini, and that just condenses all your search results into a list, so it's kind of nice. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. We can talk more later, and I will see you guys in the next one. Keep on trucking.